This video contains commentary. If you're looking for a channel with a robotic voice and zero personality, then this channel may not be for you. What's crackin', my little dudesicles? Welcome back to Storytime with your favorite Reddit fairy. My name is Lorna, and today we're getting into some r/stories about Kevin. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and let's get right into it. Kevin makes up an excuse not to go to work. Posted by user Nate Dummy. Kevin is hanging out with friends. Kevin decides he doesn't want to go to work and wants to continue hanging out. Kevin calls into work. Kevin makes up an excuse that his brother took his only car to go to his community college classes. It's 11 o'clock at night. It's Saturday night. Kevin's job doesn't buy it and he gets in trouble. Kevin doesn't understand why. Kevin complains that they just hate him and that no one understands how hard he works or the dedication he shows his employers. Wow, Kevin, geez, I wonder why they didn't believe you. Like, really? For those of you who may have missed that part, it's Saturday night at 11 o'clock. There's not usually school at that time. So, yeah, that went out the window. He could have just said he wasn't feeling good and then it would have been all right, I guess. But it's Kevin, right? Retired Kevin on Safari. Posted by user XO___XO. Had a Kevin experience in Nairobi, Kenya a while ago. I was there for work with an NGO, and with only a day free, booked a trip of mountain biking and hiking in Hell's Gate National Park and boating on the nearby lake. It was advertised as a private trip, but was also cheap, so I assumed it wouldn't really just be me. Little did I realize my companion would be Kevin. My pickup was over an hour late, and I called the tour company, who were very helpful and sorry, and explained that the guest being picked up before me had delayed them. When the pickup finally arrived, nearly 2 hours late, I asked what the holdup was. Kevin had been late to come out, then refused to get in the car because he had expected a Jeep or a Land Rover for the safari. He'd argued for ages with the driver and on the phone to the company that the car, which they did this tour in every day, wouldn't make it. He told me this proudly as he assumed I would share his shock at the car not being a real safari Jeep and wanted me to know it wasn't his fault we were being ripped off on a safari. Great, thanks, Kevin. Still your fault we wasted 2 hours of the morning of one-day excursion. Totally not a safari. So we drive, and it's a pretty long way into the Great Rift Valley. Beautiful. Kevin boasts to our guide about all the travel he has done. Most of it imaginary. How he plans to climb Kilimanjaro, but hasn't yet. How he went to climbing in the Andes, but got altitude sickness from ignoring the acclimatization period which was needed. How he's going to go to Nepal to try Everest Base Camp. Sure, Kevin. And also start a travel company for retired travelers like him. Because no one has thought of that yet other than him, the amazing Kevin. After all this adventure bragging, he turns to me in the back seat and smugly asks if I'm ready for the hiking today because it might be tough for you. I'm a woman and not especially fit at first glance and wearing loose long clothing, and I reply that I will be fine. After all, I have water, sunscreen, boots on, a small backpack with supplies, and he has khakis, a polo shirt, boat shoes, and whatever is in his pockets. Maybe he thought supplies were in the Jeep. First part is biking, and we stop to choose mountain bikes from a colorful selection of bikes maintained by friendly locals. Kevin doesn't know I've done a lot of biking, to put it mildly, has assumed I need his help, and starts trying to choose a bike for me just by color. I decline the purple one he shoves at me and try a couple of others, finding a simple one with working brakes and minimal rattling, and which I can ride with no hands so I can use my camera, which amuses the locals. Kevin is not amused though and chooses the biggest, sturdiest, rusted up, full suspension bike in the manly color of red. But he's not actually tall, so has to jam the seat down and pedal harder for the weight of the fat frame on it. So off we go at a pretty good pace. Kevin has to go in the lead, which is fine. I get to talk to our guide, who seems like he sees a different Kevin every day and treats it all with humor and grace. We go into the national park, and it's like the whole herbivore cast of The Lion King are there, and I get amazing video rolling along by trotting zebras and bouncing warthogs. Then my favorite Kevin moment happens. Off behind some trees, we see a giraffe with a baby giraffe, and stop to look at it from the trail. Kevin stops too, but something about the zoom lens on my camera extending out to take a closer photo triggers an insecurity in him. Holding his iPhone up, he launches off the trail and starts running across the grass towards the fortunately distant giraffe family, announcing, "Damn this iPhone, my wife loves giraffes!" Kevin was already almost out of yelling distance when we realized he wasn't going to stop. I turned to the guide and asked, "Are giraffes aggressive?" To which he dropped this pearl of wisdom on me. "Everything is aggressive if it doesn't like you enough." Truth. The mother giraffe looked at Kevin, still advancing with his phone up. Kevin looked at the giraffe only through the screen as he ran, and tripped on something in the grass enough to flail suddenly. The giraffe then decided to leg it away from this unusually Kevinish human. No iPhone close-ups were had. Kevin came gasping and huffing back to us, still cursing his phone, still muttering, "My wife loves giraffes so much," while trying to zoom and crop his wobbly photos to look closer. No doubt Kevin's wife was disappointed and remains unsatisfied to this day. This has gotten long already. There's more, including a snake, but I'll post this as is in case I have broken any rules. Please post more. They said that they're going to give part 2 a shot when they have some time. This was 7 hours ago. And they said, "I was just telling someone about this post and my worries that my Kevin experience might not be considered a real Kevin Stories Kevin. And so we went and looked at the original Kevin. The part about going on holiday and just forgetting their luggage in that one made me laugh. I now wonder if this Kevin even had anything more than the casual clothes he was in. And he never really seemed to register he wasn't being delightful. It honestly was surreal at times. I can give a pretty scathing, disdainful death glare when people are being condescending, but Kevin was so oblivious he was immune." That's true. As Sky No Longer Blue says, a huge part of Kevin's is that they are always oblivious to the social and physical surroundings around them. So yeah, definitely. I think he is a Kevin. Oh my god. I've worked with people like this too. They're just so oblivious, and it's just like every 2 seconds they're talking to you, and it's just like, please, just I'm trying to do my work. Just stop talking. Kevin fucks his reputation up. Hard. Posted by user Invader_actual3. My name is actually Kevin. This story is about me. So today I was in the first day of my new gym class. We had to play some icebreaker game where we make a circle and tell something about yourself that other people can't tell by just looking at you. Anyway, the game goes on for about 15 to 20 minutes, and I get picked to go in the middle of a circle, and people say something about myself. I stay in the circle clueless for about 10 minutes, and I see a dude with Kobe Bryant's jersey, and the best interesting thing I could think of was saying, "I don't care that Kobe Bryant died." Everyone else gasps and looks at me starstruck. I got talked to and written up by the teacher after class. I'm probably going to get memed for the rest of high school now. Oh my god. Oh, that's... Why wouldn't you care? I would care to hear if anybody died. That's still sad. Oh, I don't know what to say about this. I'm kind of in a rock and a hard place right now. This is... Okay, if you want to go with the argument that Kevins will never admit that they're Kevins, or they're oblivious to the fact that they're Kevins, then you would say that this doesn't belong here because he's acknowledging that he's a Kevin. But, I mean, he did do a very Kevin thing, I suppose. Which, dude, why would you say something like there's so many other things you could have said? Keep that stuff to yourself. Those are thoughts that your subconscious are supposed to block your mouth from saying, you know? Or your id or whatever it is. No, not your id. I forget. It's been a long time since I've been in school. School me in the comments. I welcome that shit. All right, my dudes, before I get into the next video, don't forget to smash that like button, tickle the subscribe button, and turn on notifications for future videos just like this one. Kevin asks about Tesla. Posted by user nerd_fury. Okay, Kevin is in my study period, and he and some of his friends were talking about their dream cars. One kid said that his was a Tesla because it's electric and better for the environment. Kevin then asks why it was better for the environment because it still uses gas. His friends then spent 10 minutes trying to explain that Tesla doesn't use gas. It's not possible for them to use gas, and they don't even have a place to put gas. It was an entertaining 10 minutes. It always makes me laugh how they just double down on their misconceptions, you know? No, don't even bother to, look it up to see if what they're saying is true. Just argue. Argue, argue, argue. That's a Kevin right there. What? No. This is the way it is. You don't know what you're talking about. No. I just had an epiphany, but I'm not going to discuss it because I will get freaking torn. I will get torn apart if I just... So let's move on to the next story, my dudes. Kevin thinks Old Spice is a food spice. Posted by user 3LA1X. Before I start, I just want to say how happy I am that there is a sub for this kid. This is one of many stories, so more are to come. I had been friends with Kevin for about 4 years at this point, and I was just starting to realize that he wasn't that bright. This summer, me, Kevin, and my other friend, we'll call him Chad, decided we were going to go to a sleepaway summer camp. A lot of crazy stuff happened at this camp, but that's for another time. So any downtime we had was precious. Me and Chad were just chilling in our cabin when we got to the topic of what the most douche deodorant was, which naturally led us to talk about Old Spice. We were mid-conversation when Kevin walked over from his side of the cabin and wanted to know what we were talking about. Being the natural jerks me and Chad were, we told him it was a spice that was good on fish. Kevin totally believed us, so we just kept going with it. I won't get into everything we told him, but basically we told him that Old Spice was a name brand spice used mainly on fish. We even got the other 2 people to join in on the lie. It got to the point where Kevin started telling us stuff about it that we supposedly didn't know. Finally, we convinced him to ask his mom to get him some when we got home from camp. You should have seen his face when his mom gave him some deodorant. This is how the Kevins get born, my dudes. Why do you enforce this behavior? Oh my god. I have to disagree. I'm sorry. Old Spice is not the douchiest deodorant. If you didn't know that, here's a wake-up call. Axe is the douchiest deodorant. Axe spray, just stop using Axe altogether, please. It's just such an offense to my nostrils. And I know a lot of people that feel the same, and I'm sorry for the microphone smack I just did there, but stop using this stuff, please. It's not good. It's not good, my dudes. All right, my dudes, let's get into the last story of the day, and this one is called Kevin Drinks Dishwater. Posted by user GMBSVolt. Not sure if this counts as Kevin or not. You be the judge. So this happened yesterday. This is a really short story, but I had to post it. Also, this is my very first post ever. Well, congratulations and welcome to Reddit, my dude. So yesterday after church, I visit Kevin's house. When I get there, he's washing some dishes and I walk up to him. P.S. I don't remember exactly what was said. Kevin. Hey, OP. Me. Hey. Kevin. What are you doing here? Me. My mom is practicing at church. She's part of the praise and worship. Kevin. Oh, okay. Kevin then proceeds to pick up a silicone straw and says, "How am I supposed to wash the inside of this?" I say, joking of course, "Just take the straw and suck up some of the water through it." To my utter surprise, he actually does. He starts gagging and spitting, trying to get the taste out of his mouth while I am unable to breathe from laughing so hard. God damn it, Kevin. Why would you think that? Oh my god, this is so good. This is so good. This is like this is like somebody almost as bad, not nearly as bad as telling someone how to get gas out of a car, and they just grab just a hose and they just start sucking and what's okay, that is really funny. I'm sorry. I couldn't even get through the whole story without laughing. That's freaking hilarious. Don't do that. That's just so gross. That guy probably got sick. You know what? I ended up when I had to fly to Florida for training for a job that I had, and it was winter where I'm from, and I flew to Florida, and it was like fucking summer. So it was like quite a temperature difference. There was like 10 feet of snow on the ground back home. So I get there and I'm like, oh shit, it's beautiful here. And my hotel had a pool. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go swimming in this pool. Like, why not? It's summer out, right? So I go swimming. Well, I got some water up my nose. I wake up the next day, sinus, throat infection. I am fucked. I just got there. I was there for a week and I was like feeling like death the entire time I was there, so I couldn't even enjoy it. It was, oh my god. I wish I had enjoyed it more on the first night I was there, because for the rest of the week I was just fucked. It was bad. Oh my god. All right, my dudes, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like it, please smash that like button. It really helps me out. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know which one was your favorite story, which one made you laugh the hardest or gasp the loudest. You never know. And don't forget to tickle that subscribe button and turn on notifications to be notified of future videos just like this one. As always, the links to these stories will be in the description, so head on over to Reddit and show those posters some love with some upvotes. You know they deserve it. And as always, don't forget to submit your stories and your GIFs and your photos and all that fun stuff. I've got a couple of stories saved up for some other subreddits that I might do another subscriber Sunday submitted stories. But you know what I'm talking about. A fucking tongue twister, man. Send your stories in. They'll show up on a Sunday episode. That's all I'm saying. And as always, the Discord links are down there too. All my socials, all that fun stuff. So you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace out, my dudes.